Welcome back, everyone, to Master English Communication. Today, we're focusing on one goal, and that is communicating clearly and confidently when you travel internationally for work. So, this is not just going to be focusing on when you're at the check-in desk or in the airport. This is about what should you have in your toolkit as a business person, and English is your second or third language, and you have to go to meetings and meet people, etc. So this is business English, but it's business English that helps you sound professional, will help you build relationships faster and feel less stressed in meetings. And by the end of the session, you'll have some practical phrases and a simple action plan you can use on your next trip. Okay, this session is perfect for intermediate and even for some advanced users as well. All righty, let's jump in and let's get started. Let's begin by just understanding, why did it even matter? Okay, so business English opens doors. It is more than just grammar. It's how you speak in professional situations. Business settings require clarity, polite tone, and fast conversation skills. And when your message is clear and polite, people trust you faster. So you're able to build trust. Strong communication helps you connect quickly in meetings, emails, and networking events, especially when you're working across borders. Now, what good business English does for you, and let's keep it simple here. Good business English helps you explain your ideas, right? So you're able to explain clearly. You're able to share ideas without confusion. You're asking smart questions. Basically, you're asking better questions and you're avoiding misunderstandings while getting the information that you need. And the other point here is that it helps you stay calm under pressure. You're able to stay confident in these situations and not become rattled. And so the goal here is not perfect English. The goal is effective communication. High stakes moments where English counts. So during global travel, English matters most when the stakes are high, and the stakes are high in situations such as negotiations. You want to close deals with confidence. You want to communicate the confidence, and you want people to see and feel the confidence. During presentations, delivering proposals and presentations and trainings clearly. Problem solving. You want to be able to speak to the issues professionally and confidently and clearly. And you want to have decision-making skills. Quick decisions are going to be very, very important. This will help to protect your credibility. When you communicate well, you represent yourself and your company with confidence. Now let's look at some essential phrases that will keep conversations smooth. And I want to provide some safe phrases for you that you can use in many situations. For example, I'm happy to discuss this further. Very polite, respectful, but very clear as well. Could you clarify that point? Once again, polite, respectful, but it communicates to the speaker or speakers that you are paying attention and you want to make sure that you understand the information they're providing or the request clearly. Let me make sure I understand. Very similar. That's a good question. Here's my thinking. Now you're letting the speaker or the sharer understand that you understand, and then you're going to give them a response that's properly tuned to what they were requesting or speaking about. Let's align on next steps. This is a very polite and clear phrase about how do we move forward together. Now, these phrases will work in many situations. And what's most important is you're going to sound polite. You're going to be clear. You're going to be confident. And you're also going to sound like you did your homework and you're well prepared. Please give us a like if you're enjoying the information that you're hearing so far. Must know vocabulary. So, in terms of vocabulary, you want to focus on words that are going to be of some use, not fluff. You want to focus on practical words. You don't need a ton, or as we like to say, a ton of buzzwords to sound professional, otherwise known as jargon as well. But you do want to have the right words so that you are clear and you're providing useful input to the exchange or the conversation. So some of the words that will come in handy across different business situations, or some of the phrases, ROI, return on investment. Basically, in a business setting, you're really asking, is it worth the cost? Target market. This is the main group of clients or customers that you're pursuing. Timeline. The schedules of the project. Right? What is the timeline? What is the launch date? What does it look like over what period of time? When will it end? Etc. And then budget. Basically, the funds available to spend. So if you understand and use these clearly, your English will sound very strong right away. And then lastly, we have priorities, which are the most important or the most critical tasks. Let's take a look at some common business idioms. So these are phrases that don't translate directly normally, and you need to learn them to avoid any confusion. Run the numbers. This is simply meaning calculate costs or results. Run the numbers. Touch base. It's not about baseball, but that's the idea. You want to talk briefly or check in with someone about the status of something, a project or some other activity. Circle back. This is that you're going to return to an issue or a topic at a later point, later in the day, later in the hour, later in the whatever time frame. And then on the same page, that you're in agreement and that you understand each other and you're going to be moving forward or whatever the outcome of that will be. Now, you want to be careful that you understand idioms such as these. I've actually shared more in some of my other videos because idioms can be confusing, whether it's in English or some other language, because they don't translate word for word. They do actually translate word for word, but they make no sense. So that's why you want to understand as many as you can, given the business that you are in. Cultural awareness. This is your superpower, your hidden skill. Language plus culture. So communication styles vary by culture and by country in many cases. And some are very direct. In the United States, we're very direct. Others are more indirect and polite. It all depends on the cultural context. So you want to make sure that you understand something about the cultural context as it relates to your communication, and you do not inadvertently make mistakes. What to watch? So you want to make sure you understand formal titles versus first names. When is that appropriate? Go according to the cultural norm. Direct versus indirect communication. And then meeting etiquette differences. There will be some differences. So you want to be knowledgeable of them so you can be respectful of them and not be surprised when they come along. So you want to pay close attention to these differences so that you avoid misunderstandings, but most importantly, you're able to create and build more powerful, robust, stronger relationships. Master different accents. To do this, you want to listen regularly. Podcasts, interviews, various types of business videos from various regions or countries. Focus on what the meanings are. So you want to listen for keywords, not every detail, but for keywords. Ask questions. This is a powerful tool. Asking the right type of question in the right situation is an infinitely powerful tool that's not taken advantage of nearly as much as it should. Don't pretend you understood everything. That will only get you in trouble later. So the key here is international travel means you're going to hear all the various versions of English. We all don't sound the same. You will hear American, you'll hear British, Nigerian, Australian accents, and there'll be more, South African. So the key here is not that you become an expert in trying to sound like them. That's not it. That's not what master different accents means. It means that you want to practice so that you understand when you're listening or having a conversation that you understand what's happening. So how do you practice while you're traveling? As little as 10 minutes a day. Doesn't sound like a lot, does it? But 10 minutes consistently, 15 minutes consistently builds your vocabulary, your grammar, your confidence exponentially. It's the consistency that pays off. Use today's phrases. I provide a number of phrases here, and obviously there'll be more. And in various lessons related to business English and vocabulary, you'll be able to find them on the channel. Have short conversations when possible with a native speaker, but if a native speaker is not available, someone who is more proficient in English than you are, or use some of the tools that will give you a simulation of back and forth. And then make sure you have notes in your phone so that you can easily refer to them. You don't need to be perfect and you don't need perfect conditions. Just as I said before, consistency. Small practice sessions will build real confidence and make you much better. Be prepared for your presentations and negotiations. We have a phrase in English saying wing it, which means you're going to handle it when you get there or in the meeting. You're not, or you don't have time to prepare, you don't want to prepare, didn't know you had to prepare, whatever that might be. But whenever you know you're going to have to do a presentation or negotiation, always best to prepare. So before the trip is even optimal. You want to make sure you write down your safe phrases, the ones that you're going to use and that you're used to using, or that you're learning and you want to use. And these are perfect for opening a meeting, presentation, negotiation. And the four that I have here are opening, transitions, questions, and closings. Practice out loud so you can hear yourself. There's nothing wrong with your voice. Practice out loud. That way you know what other people are hearing as well. And if you can't find a native English speaker, rehearse with a friend or colleague that you can count on to give you objective, supportive input. Prepare for interruptions, especially if you're in the United States, we're always interrupted. So it goes with the territory. We try to be respectful, but we're going to interrupt if we have a question, unless there's some rule set that says, do not interrupt. Action plan. Okay, what to do? There's a simple plan to follow. Start today. Choose one focus area per week. I've shared a lot with you here. Certainly come back and visit the video. And also, we have a downloadable toolkit that's going to be very helpful for business people as well. So you can download that. The link is in the on the main page. Practice your vocabulary, listening, meetings, or what we call small talk. Perfect for networking activities. Remember, we talked about 10 minutes daily. Be consistent. Doesn't have to be long, but be consistent. And track one goal, whatever your goal is. And just for an example, this goal is in this week, I will confidently use 5 new phrases. Right? Very simple goal. And what's interesting about it, when you're under pressure of some type in a business situation, you'll find that a couple of these will come up and you'll be able to use them. They'll be top of mind. The key here is that you don't have to have massive wins. You don't need to win the World Cup every time. All right. Small wins will build momentum, and your confidence will show immediately when you speak. Remember, clarity and building trust. So, what's your next step? Mastering business English. You're going to improve both your travel experience and your professional results and career. Your communication will become dramatically more clear. You will assemble more and more. You will be adding to a practical vocabulary. Your cultural awareness will grow, no doubt about it. And your listening skills will grow as well. And the key here that I'm going to emphasize again, I emphasize this a lot in my sessions, work on your listening, right? That will allow you to listen in and interact both politely, respectfully, and add to the back and forth in any situation that you're in because you're actively listening and understanding. Okay, so share one upcoming travel scenario, meeting, conference, negotiation, or networking. And, once again, as I mentioned before, go get our custom toolkit that's on the main page, and that will be very helpful and allow you to help you practice before you go. So please like, share, subscribe, comment. It helps us help you. And I will see you next time as we continue our linguistic adventure together. Take care, everyone.